Right now is a gift, an invitation to shift. Nothing to prove, nowhere to move. Be present, be present. I'm here in the right now. I am here in the now. I am here right now. I am here in the now. Nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to see, no one to be. I am here right now. I am here in the now. Take time to be present, to clear your mind. Make time, be present, to get aligned. I am here right now. I am here in the now. I am here right now. I am here in the now. Now is a gift, an invitation to shift. Nothing to prove, nothing to move. I am here right now. I am here in the now. I am here right now. I am here in the now. Happy Sunday.
Thank you, Rhonda. It was beautiful. Welcome. My name is Theo Tilton. I'm a licensed practitioner here at Centers for Spiritual Living in Morristown, New Jersey. And we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. And I invite you to like, to share, to click the little hearts and the thumbs up and the smiley faces. And you can participate with each other as a community by making comments and sharing what you think about what we're talking about today. And here's the thing. You get to be a space of listening, something new. You may have heard every single thing that I'm going to say today, and I invite you to listen to it brand newly, as if you've never heard it before. That might be difficult for some of us, but it's possible. And so today, we're going to be talking about the divine design, discovering the divine design. And it's going to be based on the teaching of Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes. He was an author that wrote the book, Science of Mind, and he gave a clear philosophy and theory around what is God. And it has turned into the movement we know as religious science, which is now called Centers for Spiritual Living. So welcome. I welcome you here today. And before we begin, I'm going to share a few announcements. We have some classes that are coming up, some that are actively going on right now. One of them was with Reverend Janice, which is Revealing Wholeness in These Evolving Times. Her evening class has completely filled up, but she still has room in her day class, which is on Thursdays. Thursday mornings from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The dates for that are October 1st through November 12th. And if you'd like to register for that class, that exciting class, you can send an email to office@cslmorristown.org. Now, there's another class coming up, which I'm excited because I'm teaching it. So again, I'm Theo Tilton, licensed practitioner here, and I have taught a course called Prosperity Plus. In fact, in addition to being a licensed practitioner, I'm also a life mastery consultant through Brave Thinking Masters Institute, which is where the Prosperity Plus program comes from. And I'll be teaching an online Zoom Prosperity Plus 3, which starts on November 2nd. That is November 2nd, and that'll be on Monday evenings at 7 p.m. Again, if you'd like to register for this course, you send an email to office@cslmorristown.org, or you can call me if you have my number, all right? And I will make sure you're registered. There are course materials for this course, so there is a fee associated. It is a spiritual tithing program based up on how you want to create a vision for your life, a life that you truly love living in all 4 quadrants of life: your health and well-being, your relationships, your vocation, what you do out in the world, what is your life purpose, and your time and money freedom. So if you'd like to hear more about that, please send us an email, office@cslmorristown.org, or you can call me at, ready? 786-529-2659. I won't repeat it. All right. Thank you so much. And what we're going to do now, before we get into, actually, you know what, maybe let's switch to, no, I'm not going to switch things up on Rhonda. So this is live, so we get, we get to move and flow. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to do a meditation and then an opening treatment, which is our word for affirmative prayer. All right. So I invite you to settle down into that smooth, jazzy feeling right now. And there's a space within you, right inside the center of you, that energetic part of you, the heart space. And so bring your consciousness down into that heart space. Bring your mind's eye down into that space and breathe. Breathe into that space. Deep breath. And release and say, ah. And feel that rhythm. And put a smile on your face. We're inside of this experience of the world, the experience of the body, the physical body. And today we're going to explore the triune nature of spirit, the divine design. And so let's invite curiosity and wonder into the space of your heart. And as we breathe deep, we anchor this right now with an affirmative prayer. There is something so delightful, so delicious, so loving, so creative. It is life itself. There's only one mind and one heart and one design. And whatever it is that we believe, that is the design that unfolds for us. And so I know that each and every single person here today, online, watching this, is moved and feels the opening and the expansion of that heart space. With playfulness and joy, and maybe some humor. So being in that space of love, we release it all over in gratitude. Thank you. And so it is. And now, back to some music. Thank you, Rhonda.
Sure. So, let me make sure this is on. Here we go. So today for service, we've been talking about music and everything, and I got the topic and decided to write the songs for service this morning. So all 3 are premieres, new originals by Rhonda Denet. Speaking in the 3rd person, right? Okay, this one is called Divine Design. Ooh. so good to be connected, better than expected. Now that I've accepted that everything is by design. Divine design. Everything is by design. Oh. I choose to make time to dwell in the presence. I choose to take time to bask in this essence. Feels so good to be connected, better than expected. Now that I've accepted that everything is by design. By divine design. Everything is by design. Oh, this time reminds me, this time's my priority. This time guides me, 'cause this time reminds me I'm so happy to be connected, better than expected. Now that I've accepted that everything is by design. Divine design. Everything is by design. Oh, I am here for love. I am here through love. I am here as love. I am here, I'm one with love. Feels so good to be connected, better than expected. Now that I've accepted that everything is by design. Divine design. Everything is by design.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Amazing, those notes. So you get to that, and it's like that presence of that angelic tone. So thank you.
Sure.
So this month, the month of October, the theme for the month within this year to 2020, which has been an extraordinary year, I'm sure you could all agree, with all the events that are happening. The theme for the month of October is cosmic connection. And today's topic, the topic that I'm going to be talking about, is discovering divine design. So what an amazing thing to create such a wonderful song. It was perfect. It really was perfect. And what I want to do is start off with a reading from Science of Mind magazine. So there's this little magazine, if you don't get it. It's the Guide for Spiritual Living, the Science of Mind. And I'm looking at Thursday, October 1st reading, and it's called, entitled, All Together Now. There is but one ending place for all human faith, God. That was by Julia Seton Sears. If we had to search for God, where would we go? If we had to find the kingdom, in what direction should you look? The illuminated one, the kingdom is within, Jesus said. The kingdom is already established, even though we have not discovered it. Life has made a gift that we have not yet accepted. There is an interior reality to everything. a divine pattern. A divine pattern is hidden in everything. There is a unifying presence and law at the center of everyone and everything. A unity that binds all together in one common source, one living spirit, one divine presence. Each is unique manifestation of this one. The one wears many faces behind the mask of each that is a continuing unity of all things. Jesus implies that no one can enter the kingdom of God without desiring to take all others with him, he said. I was hindered, and yet he gave me the meat. I was thirsty, and yet gave me the drink. I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me. I was sick, and he visited me. I was in prison, and ye came on to me. The kingdom of God he invites us to enter is that realm of pure spirit that includes everyone. It is a unity of good. It is one of the supreme tests of integrity for our spiritual conviction that we desire and permit this with all inclusiveness. In the Science of Mind text that was written by Ernest Holmes, for those of you who have studied that text, or for those of you that are brand new to that text, in the back of the book there are appendices, and one of them shows this big circle. And Ernest Holmes describes God as having a triune nature. In Christianity, this is known as the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. In the Science of Mind, we say that it is spirit, it is law, it is the body. And it describes a process that how all of life works. Now, we've referred back to biblical text or Gnostic text or any other divinity text that exists. There's always some kind of reference that says you are made in the image and the likeness of the One, or the Father, or the Spirit, or the Source. Whatever word you call it, it doesn't really care what it's being called. But you are made in the image and the likeness of that. And so if we look at what the Science of Mind is teaching and what Ernest Holmes was trying to tell us, and we specifically look at the realm, the third realm, which is body, the lower realm of, there's the triune nature. So let's look at the third one called body. And so inside of body, we can look at that. It's all the physical world. It is the tangible. It's everything that you can see. And so we have our rooms and our living rooms and our kitchens and our offices. There's furniture. This is the physical realm. Our body, we have hair, we have nails, we have eyes, we have ears, we have arms, we have legs. Okay, so this is all in the physical body. And if we go even deeper, science tells us something about the physical world. The physical world is measured in fact. And we know that facts can change, but facts are measurable things out in the universe. We know that light has a speed to it. We know that sound has a speed to it. We know that weather patterns has a certain way about it. That the sun has a certain temperature that heats up the earth. There are certain things that happen inside the physical realm, and they call them conditions. And so these are the conditions of life, the conditions of the realm of the body. And if we dive a little bit deeper and we think about this concept of divine design, and we're looking with the eye of discovery, what will we find? What will we find in the physical, in the body? Chemistry and physics says that there is an interaction. Physics says that there's a body in motion stays in motion, right? If a force is applied, an equal and opposite force is also applied. If that force is greater than the force applied, then movement occurs. In chemistry, we know that there are molecules, and molecules are held together by atoms. So let's talk about the atom, the atomic level. Almost completely unseen, right? It's theoretical, technically. But it is theorized that atoms look like that there is a spherical object at the center called the nucleus. And that there are spinning charges that fly around the nucleus, and those are called electrons. And there's other pieces of it. There's protons and neutrons and electrons, but there's a nucleus and an electron for purposes of demonstration here. Now, chemically, molecules are multiple atoms that come together and they start to build elements. And those elements combine together to build those molecules and compounds. And if we look at the human body and our skin and everything that's within us, we are basically electrical charges that are all being held together at the atomic level. That there is a nucleus and an electron spinning around, and it's connected to another and another and another, and then you have cells, and then you have skin, and then you have a heart, and then you have a mind, and then you have lungs. But what does this look if we start to go backwards out into the universe and we go at the planetary scale? And we look at the Earth. The Earth has a moon, and the moon spins around the Earth. What does that look like? That looks like an atom. If we look at the solar system, you have a sun, which is our nucleus to the universe, to our known universe. And all of its planets spinning around, those are like electrons to the sun. So you see, if we go down to the microscopic level, and we see the atom, and we go back out to the macroscopic level, you will start to see that there are patterns to the divine. All of this is set up in a divine right way as a design of life. So let's think about the human body again. There are systems in the human body. We've got respiratory systems, the way we breathe. We've got a circulatory system, a heart that pumps blood through the body and all of its veins and arteries and capillaries. We've got an immune system. And our immune system fights off anything that's an intruder into the body, something that doesn't seem natural to the balance of the body. And the immune system is designed specifically to balance out the homeostasis of the body itself. The body knows how to heal itself, and that is the immune system. Well, what if we pull out and we go another level up? We go back to that earth level. Does the earth have a respiration system? Does the earth have an immune system? I assert that it does. If we look at the immune system I declare is like the weather, the volcanoes, the earthquakes. This is the immune system of the earth. So as things start to intrude and encroach upon the earth, the natural way of being the earth is to bring balance, to all of it that's going on. There is a way that air naturally begins to recycle itself, and when we start to remove those things like rainforests and stuff like that, we start to diminish the Earth's ability to do what it does respiratory-wise, to pull in carbon and release oxygen, which is a life-giving molecule for human beings to survive and live in all life. Imagine if you were to remove a lung, how much different it would be to breathe. So the earth, it represents an organism which is a macro level of the human. And if we go even bigger than that, does the solar system have a respiratory system? Does the solar system have a circulatory system, an immune system? These questions you can begin to look at. But today's message is going to be, that's all in the scene. That's all in the world of the scene. The physical, the tangible, the measurable. But there's another world. A realm of the unseen. This is a realm of law. This is a realm of spirit. This is a realm of energy and wave, the things that are not seen. To give a concrete example so it's really easy to grasp, this is like gravity. You can't see gravity. Well, you just witness gravity. We know that there's a law called gravity, and it's invisible, and it allows one thing to fall, or anything to fall, and it falls to the earth at a very specific rate of speed, 9.83 meters per second, if I remember correctly from engineering school, 9.83 meters per second. And it's changeless. That does not change. It's the same value regardless of weight, with whether something weighs 2 tons or if it's a feather. It falls at a rate, the same rate, in a vacuum. And so there are unseen forces. Now, Ernest Holmes says this in the Science of Mind text. He says that there's a triune nature to God. The realm of the invisible occurs in the first 2 pieces. We've already talked about the body, which is the 3rd piece. That's the physical realm. But the unseen realm is spirit and law. And in spirit and law, we can look at what does Ernest Holmes say about God or spirit? He says that it's consciousness. He says that it's the word. He calls it also the masculine. He also calls it, what other words does he use? These are students. Rhonda's a student of the science of mind. And so there's so many different things. In the beginning, God said let there be light, right? And so there was the word. This is the realm of spirit, consciousness. In the beginning, there was nothing but the word, and the word was God, and God was the word. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. Why was there light when God said there was light? When nothing was in existence? Because there was also an unseen attribute of God and spirit that is called law. There's an infallible, non-biased, non-judgmental law. It works the same thing for everything and everyone, and it comes from the deliverance of God, the triune nature of God. Law. It always says yes to you. It always says yes. That's why when God said, let there be light, there was light. When let there be oceans, there was oceans. And so if we look at this message, and we look at what Ernest Holmes was trying to say, and he's describing and generating what it is at the macro level of what life is all about. That there is spirit, and there is a law, there's a fertile law that just says yes, it just creates, it just does. And then there's body, there's how it shows up into the world. How it manifests as Theo, how it manifests as Rhonda, how it manifests as Mike, how it manifests as any one of you watching. Because we're all individualized expressions of this thing, this life that has emerged as us. And that is the cosmic connection. But there is a divine design to that. And so what I'm speaking to right now is that at that macro level, that physical 3-realm triune nature that is God is also within us. And I'm going to share that right now. So the triune nature that is us, it's easy to see the body part. But the body is not just this. The body is also your location. Where do you live? What does your house look like? Your bank accounts, your relationships. That's all in the physical realm. That's all in the world of condition. And spirit, which is also us, the triune nature, spirit and law, that's the unseen part of us. That's the unseen. The thing that holds us all together. The law that's always saying yes. And so how does it show up in our life? What is it that it's ours? How does that work within the human mind? Well, we have conscious subconscious or subjective, and then we have the body. And so in the conscious, it's our ability to think. It is our ability to communicate. It is our ability to speak. It is our ability to command out using the conscious mind. And we can speak anything. Even if we don't believe it, we can speak it. We could say things, blah, 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 and something will happen. But we don't know what that is because we don't know what our belief is around blah, blah, blah. All right, so there is something else that's happening, and that is the law. The law that's always saying yes. It is not biased. It is not judgmental. It is just saying yes. And our personal individualized law was set up by the macro law. See, the macro law simply says yes. It simply says yes. And it gave us the ability, because we are made in the image and the likeness of the one, it gave us the ability to have that same exact law. And then our conscious mind started making decisions about our life when we were this big. And then this big, and then this big, and then this big. We made decisions of what is right and wrong. We were taught things by our parents, our aunts, our uncles, our family, our community, our friends. And even now online, the internet is teaching us stuff, and teachers and politicians. And we either accept or reject. We either say it's good or it's bad. There's something that gets set up. And then all of a sudden, there's a living, loving law that just says yes. And what happens is we set up a subjective mind. There is a subconscious mind that is riding underneath. This is the realm of belief. This is the realm of paradigms. This is the realm of powerful or automatic habits. You probably notice that your life works a certain way. You brush your teeth at a certain time, it becomes a habit. You drive to work, or maybe we're not driving to work anymore, but you go to, imagine the time when you were driving to work. You drive maybe a certain way, and you always go the same way. Or sometimes you'll just automatically just get home, and you're like, wait, how did I get home? That was 30 minutes? And because it was all automatic, your feet on the pedals, completely automatic. This is embedded in our subjective, our subconscious mind. This is the realm of belief and paradigms and patterns. And so when we say something, it gets planted into that law. Now here's the challenge. There's something that is not out there within our subjective mind that says yes. Because what happens is in this subjective mind is we are creating our own law. We are creating our own law within the law that says yes all of the time. So if we have a pattern of belief inside of us that says I'm not good enough, then we are always going to be experiencing the world in some way, shape, or form through a filter of a law that has been embedded within us that says, I'm not good enough. And that's simply not the truth. But it's something that we declared when we were this big. And it got planted into this area called the subjective. And it became the law of our life. So what laws have you created for yourself? Because remember, you are part of the divine design. You are part of this triune nature of God, the triune nature of spirit. And we have our own individualized, expressed triune nature. And if we understand that we are modeled directly after the universal, then we have the power to do something and to change something. Because the realm of law is where all of the work can be done. We can simply say, like I can say, the chair is red. I know it's not red, but the chair is red. I can say anything. But the law, the personal law, is what governs. The personal law is what's saying yes. And if we don't believe, if we don't have a pattern that is orchestrating all the judgment and the beliefs and the paradigms together to orchestrate a yes to the thing that you just said, it's not going to manifest in the body. If you are saying, I am healthy, I am healthy, I am healthy, but you have a subjective belief, well, you know, heart disease runs in the family and diabetes, and yeah, I'm probably destined to have. And if you have a belief, it doesn't matter what you say. However, it is part of it. So how do we reprogram the design? If the design is given to us by the Almighty One Source, and there is an ability to erase and eradicate and create a clearing such that there is a law that does say yes. Now, in the science of mind, we use tools. We use prayer. We use affirmations. We use meditation. We use visioning. A really great way is affirmation. If you do not believe that you're healthy or that you don't have that within you, oh, I have bad genes, you know, my genetics are bad, watch what you're saying. Watch what you're saying. And if we start off with, I am healthy, whole, and complete. All that is within me that is not like me is removed. I am healthy, whole, and complete. All that is within me that is not like me is removed. And so when you begin to do this, it may take 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, but the repetition of it creates new paradigms and new beliefs. So look, I just want you to look within yourself right now. Take a moment. Close your eyes. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. But I want you to take a deep breath. And I want you to think about an area of your life right now that doesn't seem to be working well. And when we look at that area of our life, and we just be honest and authentic with ourselves, like we're not going to lie to ourselves. If we're being honest and authentic, what belief do we truly have? What belief do we truly have in the area of that thing? If we're in a space of lack and scarcity and our bank accounts are diminishing, and it seems like you can never make ends meet, and yet you keep saying, I am abundant, I am abundant, I'm abundant, and it doesn't happen. What are you really believing? And how can we use that just as a signal, just as a sign, just as an authentic way of being to set up ourselves inside of this triune nature so that we can take the design as it is and work with it. And work with it just as it is. And begin to create brand new beliefs. So what area of that of your life, for those of you that are online, if you'd like to share in the chat, you can totally do that. We would love, because we read through all the chats and we will comment back. Reverend Frankie will look at them when she comes back off of vacation. I'll be looking at them. We all look at them and we'll be responding. But what area of life would you love to see a shift in? What area of life have you identified where it doesn't seemingly show up the way you say you want it to show up? It shows up a different way. Great. You know, it's an amazing time we live in because we are living in a space where there's so much information. It's not like what I'm saying is anything new. I'm not saying anything different than what Reverend Frankie would be speaking or some other spiritual guru that's out there that is speaking a word of truth. Because there's a realm of truth. And the truth is timeless and never changes. It's not like the realm of fact. In the realm of fact, things change all of the time. And so in that space of the body, that triune nature, the space of the body, it is a changeable area. It is something that can be changed. And it starts by looking at the invisible items above, the consciousness, the subjective consciousness, the beliefs, and the paradigms. This is the realm that we should do our work. You know, if we feel like we're out of shape and we say, I'm going to go to the gym, and we take action, go to the gym, that's still in the realm of the body. You're moving your body, you're driving, you're going to the gym, you're doing the push-ups, you're doing the sit-ups, and then you may be eating a certain way. But if your consciousness and your belief doesn't believe it's going to work, guess what? You're going to be wasting a lot of energy trying to get something accomplished that you're being stuck inside of the realm of the body. It's the mind that also gets included in this process. If you know that, ooh, I did 10, I'm exhausted, I'm going to do 11 or 12 the next time I do it. And it's getting better. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting fitter. And if you begin to program yourself to believe through our speak and through our language, there is a law that will begin to be reprogrammed. And all of a sudden, an entirely new body will begin to emerge. I know this very well because 27 years ago, I lost 128 pounds. And it came upon me from standing on a scale and thinking, oh my God, 337 pounds, I'm going to die if I do not do something right now. And I remember waking up the next day, going to the gym, like starting boom, boom, boom. I changed my whole life. And I still live from that space today, 27 years later. There's a shift that occurs in the invisible before it shows up in the physical. So I'd like to close with an affirmation and then turn it back over to Rhonda. Here's an affirmation that we can use. I allow the divine wholeness with W-H-O-L, divine wholeness to flow through me into ever-winding fields of activity. I'll repeat that. I allow the divine wholeness to flow through me into ever-winding fields of activity. Thank you.
I am one with souls in divine connection. I am one with souls, a beautiful reflection. I am one with souls, living in and as and through my life. I am one with souls, knowing all is right. You are one with souls. You're in divine connection. You are one with souls. Such a beautiful reflection. You are one with souls, living in and as and through your life. You are one with souls, knowing all is right. We are one with souls. We are in divine connection. We are one with souls. Such a beautiful reflection. trusting that all is right. All is one with souls in divine connection. All is one with souls. We see a beautiful reflection. All is one with souls, living in and as and through all life. All is one with souls, knowing all is right. All is one with souls.
Thank you once again. So before we leave, I definitely want to repeat so that if you like this, definitely comment and share. You can share a watch party even after this and share with your friends and family members. We really enjoyed being here with you today. You can also like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. What else can we do? We can also donate. So if you were moved and inspired, if there's something that you heard that was different and you're like, wow, this is really great messaging, you'd like to support us as a community here at Centers for Spiritual Living Morristown, you can go to cslmorristown.org. I believe it's /give. And you can share a monetary gift with us. We would love that. It helps us create this environment that we bring to you every single Sunday and all of the different classes that we provide. And speaking of those classes, I just want to do a reminder on 2 classes that are coming up. One is currently active with Reverend Janice. It is called Revealing Wholeness in This Evolving Times. Her evening class is full, but she does have a daytime class on Thursdays from 10:30 a.m. until 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. If you'd like to register for that class, send us an email, office@cslmorristown.org. There's also a Prosperity Plus 3 class that I'll be teaching on Monday nights at 7 p.m. starting in the month of November, the first Monday of November, which is November 2nd. 7 p.m. And if you'd like to register for that, there is a fee for registration on that. I believe it's $39 or $49 to get digital downloadable materials that you'll have with you. It'll be a Zoom class for 7 weeks based on the spiritual laws of prosperity. Again, that starts November 2nd and it goes to December 14th on Mondays at 7 p.m. and I will be the instructor for that. Okay. I think we're done. I'm going to close up with a treatment and we're going to have some closing music. And we thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And so as we bring this message to a close today, as we bring this day, this Sunday into our experience, going from morning into afternoon into this evening, we're just aware now. We're aware of something bigger, something greater. There is a design that is operating. There is a design that is spirit. There is a design that is me. There is a design that I am made in the image and the likeness of, and the triune nature of this design is available for me to use. It is available for all of us. It is available for you. It is available. And it starts with knowing the I am of the I am. And so I speak this affirmative prayer right now in that I am of the I am. Knowing that I am whole and complete. I am healthy. I am love. I am peace. I am joy. I am unity. I am connectedness. I am happiness and playfulness and fun. I am health with a capital H. Oh yes, I am love. Knowing that there is an infallible law, a non-judgmental law an unbiased law that simply says yes to this word. It is done. It is done. And this community is so beautiful, so wonderful. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being in the awe and the wonder of what is being spoken. It is with that gratitude I release it now. I surrender, knowing it's complete. And we all say together, and so it is. Thank you. Rhonda. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been a wonderful service. Great serving with you, Rhonda and Mike. Awesome. Have an awesome day.